Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany, and today I want to do a planner chat video and a Q&A. So it's going to be fun. So please bear with me with the lighting situation. It's late, it's dark. Yeah. You know, when daylight savings comes around and it's pitch black outside at 5 p.m., it's like, what can you do? But anyway, so I thought today it would be fun to really just talk about planning and kind of go over really quickly like what worked for me this year, what really didn't work for me this year, and just kind of go from there. So I guess first and foremost, let's talk about my beloved personal ring planner. This is the planner that I show the most. This is where like I do my plan with me's. I have a lot of flips on my channel with personal rings. So this is my, I've been in personal rings, I think since August of 2020. And I don't see personal rings going anywhere. So this is here to stay. I like the way it's set up. It's functioning very well for me. So I'm keeping this, and I'll kind of dive in later in the video as to why personal rings is my go-to. The next planner that I've been using, this one since, not like this cover, but this planner since August of this year. I kind of went through like a lot of like planner shuffling for work just because my role changed a bit. I can't really dive in to the contents of this planner. I do have a new cover for it. This is an Ali Reyes planner. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I apologize. I actually bought this used and I got a really good deal on it, and it fits FC Compact very nicely. I do have a video where I talk about like kind of how I use my planner. I gave like some scenarios for work, so I'll link that in the cards if you're interested in watching that video. I do have Franklin planner inserts in here, so right now it's working for me. Now I change my work planner a lot, so it's possible that as the year progresses, I may say, this really isn't working for me. I've done that probably every year for the past 4 years, but right now it's working for me, so I'm not going to mess with it. So the next one that I've been in all year long is this A5. This is a Filofax Finsbury. I also have a flip of this on my channel. I don't show this one a whole lot. This one is kind of like my home reference binder, I guess is the best way I can describe it. It's not even really like an extension of anything. It has very specific things that live in here. Most importantly is I have like a list section that has like different recipes. My project section is where I keep track of like car maintenance, home maintenance stuff, all that fun stuff. And then my finance section is a huge bulk of this planner. It's where I keep my handwritten budgets, and my savings information goes in here. Now, I do want to point out that with my budgeting system, I also have things done digitally, but I am a pen to paper type person, which is why I feel like I don't think digital planning could ever work for me. Maybe it could. I guess never say never. However, for me, I retain information when I write it, and you'll kind of see I duplicate things from time to time in my planners, but this is the home reference binder. It's not going anywhere. I will archive our budget inserts this year. I also have like some goals information in here. So this is stuff that like never ever leaves the house. Like this sits in a bookshelf on my desk, or sometimes I'll carry it with me around the house if I need to reference stuff. And it's handy to have like for, you know, when was the last time I got my oil changed, or when was the last time I replaced the battery in one of the vehicles or something like that. So this is just a handy little reference tool that I have. Now mid-year, I did add this A5, which I recently did a flip of this. And this is my Print Impression Classic Collection A5, and this is my academic planner. So this is basically for all of my school stuff. And I say that I have this right now is because I'm currently taking 5 classes, and I just wrapped up my 2 labs, my skills labs that I have to attend. So essentially 7 classes. So I have to like keep track. I have to have this monthly view. It's very busy, but this has really been helping me like stay on track. And then I have like my task management in here. And in conjunction with this is not really a planner, but this is my Stalogy that has like my notes in here and things of that nature that I use like together. So that's what's working for me right now. I can also like throw in the Wonderland 222. I just posted a video about that as well. My Wonderland 222 is for fun. It's for memory keeping. I used to be really big into scrapbooking. Scrapbooking was something I thoroughly enjoyed. It's just extremely time consuming for me. So, you know, a way that I kind of get that like fix for scrapbooking that I love is to basically memory keep, and I use stickers and I write things down. So I do use the Wonderland 222. I'll link these videos like either in the cards or down below if you're interested in watching them. But this is kind of just where I like keep track of like stuff. And there's not a lot of pressure like as far as this goes. Like there are weeks honestly where like in August I didn't do a whole lot in here, and that's okay. I just leave it blank because I want this to be fun. Like this is not supposed to be an overwhelming thing. This is supposed to be fun for me and a way for me to relax. Like I'm a wild woman. I lay in bed on Saturday nights and update my Wonderland 222. So that's what I'm working with for currently. So let's talk about what's not working. And I think Pocket. I don't like Pocket. I tried to force myself to use Pocket. Don't like it. Pocket's going to go away. I'm either going to gift this to somebody or put it on a shelf. I have 2 Pocket planners. Both were relatively inexpensive. One is from Moterm and this one's from Print Impression. So Pocket's going out the window. So I don't like it. That's just my personal preference. Okay. So that was about 8 minutes of me chatting about my planners. So I'm going to give you guys a pretty planner to look at while I chat. So I'm going to move now into the Q&A session of this video. So I tried to write down all the questions and I'm going to do my best to answer them and explain them as succinctly as possible without getting ridiculously rambly because you all know I have a tendency to do that. So I had like this really, it was like 3 questions in one, but I'm going to read them all all together, because I think they all kind of go with each other. So it's, do you carry your planner everywhere, every day? How do you plan on the fly? Do you pull it out and write in it or jot something on a sticky note? So the quick answer to do I carry my, and I assume that when we're talking about my planner, we're talking about my personal rings because this is the one I show. So let me move that one out the way. The quick answer to that is no. I do not carry this planner everywhere, every day. I don't need it at work because I have a separate work planner, and mainly the things in here, if I do put work things in here, the reason that I put work things in my planner is because it disrupts my typical work day. So it's a good reference for me to know not to drive out to my school. I may need to be somewhere else. I hope that makes sense. But mostly everything in here is just personal stuff. And when I'm at work, I can't really dig into this. So, during the week, this stays at home, usually on my desk, usually either open to my daily page or my weekly page. Now, I will say that there are times like on the weekends, if we're going to be gone from the house for a long period of time, or if we're out running errands and I need this for reference or whatever, it does go with me. And that's why like I'm kind of funny about sensitive leathers, because I do like to throw my planner in my purse from time to time. It's not often, but from time to time. Now, as far as planning on the fly, I don't really have a whole lot, honestly. Let me start off by saying that kind of just comes up out of the ordinary. But so if I'm at home, let's say that, like if I'm at home, I have a perfect example. I had a friend reach out to me and text me yesterday, asked me, were we busy on a particular date? I said, let me check my calendar. I looked, I didn't have anything on that date. So she said, I think that's when I'm going to have my daughter's birthday. And I told her, perfect, I'm going to pencil that in. So instead of writing it on my monthly, I wrote it on a sticky note and stuck it on my inbox. Okay. That way it's not written in my monthly because the plans are not written in stone. So it can sit there until it becomes an actual plan and I can migrate it. And I pretty much follow that same procedure for the most part. I love sticky notes. If you ever notice in any of my flips, I have sticky notes everywhere. I have sticky notes all over the house, all over my desk. I love writing on sticky notes. So usually what I'll do is if it's something that needs to be migrated into my planner, I will stick it on a sticky note, stick it on my inbox dash here, and I'll leave it on here until the information is migrated to the appropriate spot, whether that be like my calendar or whatever. So that's typically what I do if I have this planner with me or if I'm at home. So I did incorporate a newish planner, I guess, because Pocket kind of served that purpose, and I guess I should point that out. So on the fly, before probably like September, October, I can't pinpoint the exact date. Somehow I moved this to November, so obviously I've been in this a bit, but yeah, it had to have been in October when I stopped utilizing this. I would jot stuff down on these monthlies. This was in my purse. This was like my wallet / on-the-go planner combo. Like I said, I just don't like this size. So what I did instead was I went into the dupe weeks that I found on Amazon. I actually got the 2-pack for like 15 or 16 bucks. And it's undated, but it's pretty much like a Hobonichi like knockoff, I guess, or a dupe. So this is what I've been using so far. So again, not pretty planning, but if for some reason I'm not home and somebody texts me or something like that, I'll just jot it on here really quickly on my monthly. And I'll migrate that information over. Usually when I'm doing my monthly planning, I will check, like previously, I would check my Pocket to my personal. And I know that seems crazy, like to duplicate information, but again, I'm that person that like, it just helps me like to write things down and to remember. I hope I'm explaining that well. So that's how I'm planning on the fly. So yes, definitely utilize a lot of sticky notes. Now, if it's like something, like, hey, Jesse has to work or something like that, then it goes on here. Like I write it in immediately. My friend was going to take the kids to the circus. I wrote it on here immediately. So, I mean, if it's something that I know is going to happen, I typically just write it in my monthly, like as soon as I find out about it. So I hope that's helpful. So somebody asked, what makes personal size the size for you? So I gave a lot of, like, I thought about this a lot. And for me, I like the size. Like, I like the narrow. I like that it's narrow and long. Okay, anyway. I like that it is narrow and long. I also like the portability of personal. So when I first like delved into ring planning, the first 2 sizes I tried was B6 and A5. B6 is such an odd size, but I tried it. It was actually the first size that I tried. And it was because I found a print impression planner that was very inexpensive. And I didn't like it. I didn't like this, like the squareness of it. And I think that's where my issue is with Pocket. I don't like how square Pocket is. I like the real estate. I like this type of real estate. And so this is, I feel like to me, personal size is a great mid-size planner. It's not itty bitty like a Pocket, but it's not humongous like an A5. It's kind of, for me, that sweet spot with planning. And then as I was thinking about that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like that with vehicles because I don't like tiny cars, but I don't like big vehicles. Like I tried to have an SUV. I didn't like it. I thought it was too big. I drive a mid-size sedan. So I feel like I'm like that with a lot of things. I like just kind of like mid-size things. I'm not the biggest person in the world. I'm actually really short. And I don't know if that has something to do with it. I don't know. Here comes the rambling. But I like The narrowness and the length, I would say number one, because I'm a lister, I like to list things out and this suits me. And number two is I like the portability of this size. Like I don't have to tote this with me when I leave, but because it's compact, but big enough to house all the information that I need, it is perfect for on-the-go planning, but also for desk planning without taking up too much space. So yeah, I feel like that's why I like personal the most. I've never tried A6, and honestly, I'm not interested in trying A6. So I feel like that's like a ring size that I haven't tried, but I feel like every other ring size I've tried, I would always go back to personal if I changed. The only other size I might consider is the FC Compact, which is basically the exact same thing as personal size, except you get half an inch more width. So yeah. I hope I explained that well. Okay, so somebody asked, this is another like multiple questions in one question thing. What are your plans for 2022? Have you decided on what you're dropping and what you're keeping? Any changes being implemented? That's a great question. So I want to start off by saying, let me throw this out there. I want to start off by saying, I don't think this year I did it. In 2021, I did it twice, actually. I did my planner lineups. And this year, I don't want to do that. I want to do more so like, this is what I'm using now. This is what's working for me now. I also want to have the ability to be adaptable and flexible with what planners I want, what planners are going to suit my needs. Because at the end of the day, while this planner is also my hobby planner because I like to make it pretty, my planner is my tool to help me remember things. It serves as like an extra brain for me because I forget a lot of stuff and I'm constantly writing things down. So I want to be adaptable and flexible with my planning system. So all that to say, personal, I'm keeping. I'm probably going to keep pretty much the exact same setup. I'm not really going to change it. This works for me. So going to keep personal. For now, I'm going to finish out the school year in this planner, and then I'll evaluate whether or not this planner was worked for me or not. You know, I think that I have to give it a fair shot. There are some elements that I like and other elements that I don't like. So I think I'm going to have to like test it out for the entire year and see if it actually helped me. I'm also going to keep the home reference binder. That's not going anywhere. So I already explained Pocket's going bye-bye. Bye, Pocket. Like, peace out. We won't see Pocket anymore. I actually haven't been using this. It's actually been sitting on a bookshelf. So, bye, Pocket. Adding weeks. Okay, so I got this. Okay, so initially I bought this to do my memory keeping. But then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to try it as a planner because look, guys, it's narrow and long. I think that's where why I gravitate to this. So right now, this was last week, for example, I kind of wrote like appointments here. I copied like Lindsay scribbles, basically day specific to-dos. I was writing out my meal plan in here because that's where I was meal planning in my Pocket. My grocery list was on this notes section, and then I had some other notes. My biggest complaint, I'm a note taker. My biggest complaint is there's not notes pages there's not a lot of notes pages in here. And by the way, this is my wallet. I just took all my stuff out for the video, but I'm using this as my wallet as well. There's not a lot of notes pages in here. So here's what I did. I've never tried a Hobonichi before. I purchased my first Hobonichi this year. And I purchased this cover. Isn't it pretty? It's from Gallon. Is it Gallon or Galen leather? It's this really pretty, like beat up rustic leather. And I have I'm sorry guys, I have hyperhidrosis and my hands sweat all the time. But this is such a nice cover. So I bought a Hobonichi Weeks Mega because like I said, I'm an avid note taker. I have notes everywhere, notebooks everywhere. So I'm going to try the Mega out. I don't know what I'm doing. This may be for on-the-go planning. I'm not really sure. I just want to try it. I don't really have a plan. But I did start like kind of trying to set it up, making it pretty. I got to March and then I ran out of time. So definitely going to try this out and see how I like it. I'm just so intrigued by this planner. I've been watching all these YouTube videos and such. So going to give this a shot. So the question mark at the moment is going to be my A5 for graduate school. And the only reason, I have like a whole stack of planners happening here. The only reason that it's a question mark is because since I started the program this summer, I've always taken 5 classes plus a skills lab or 5 classes plus 2 skills labs. So there's like a lot of assignments due. And I think I talked about this when I initially set this up. Let me turn you guys to, let's look at an October monthly, right? So this was like all of the assignments due in October. And then let's look at my October monthly and my personal ring planner. There was a lot of stuff in both planners, and these are all high level necessary events. That's January. Where did October go? I think I pulled it out. I just noticed that. But even if you look at like November, I feel like things would have gotten lost in the shuffle. So with that being said, I didn't feel like at the time I could incorporate the school stuff into my personal rings. But when I begin my semester in January, I'm doing field, and field is a 9 credit hour class. So I'll do field, and then I have 2 classes, so it's only 2 classes. So I'm debating at this point if I need this. So I'm waiting to see what my course schedule looks like before I make a decision here. Because if it's only an assignment a week or something like that, because that's pretty typical right now. It's like an assignment a week or maybe 2 assignments at most a week. I can incorporate that either into my personal ring planner. I pulled right to my debt tracker this monthly from Paper Test and mark my assignments on this and just have 2 monthlies in here, or put it in my Hobonichi weeks. So that remains a question mark, but for the most part, I'm not changing a whole lot. It's worked. The system that I have in place right now is working. So if it's not broken, if it's working for me, I just don't feel like I need to make any changes. So there's that. So the addition of this beauty is the only change. The next question I got was, what's your favorite planner cover you own? Funny you should mention that. I pulled them out. Hold on. I couldn't pick just one. Let me say that. So these are my 2 favorites, and the lighting is horrific, and I apologize. This is my favorite. I love this undyed cover. This is from Think Tank K. I bought this used. I buy a lot of used planner covers because I like character. Like, I like leather that has markings and things of that nature. And plus I'm frugal. So I love this cover. It's so pretty. It smells amazing. And I love my beauty marks that I've put on here. And it has patinaed quite nicely since I received it. It smells so good. I know that's weird, but it does. And then my second favorite is my VDS Touch Me Like the Ready to Ship Parm. I love, love, love this cover. I don't know what it is about this cover because I have another VDS, but I am not as obsessed with it as I am the Parm. I like the wrinkles in the leather. See, I like all the freckles. I love the way this feels. I love this cover. So yes, absolutely. These are my 2 favorite covers, pink and brown. So there you go. Okay. Is personal size your favorite size? I would say yes. For the time being, yes. Not to say that that wouldn't change, but yes, I love personal size for the many reasons that I listed. It just works so well for me. And I know that that's not the opinion of everyone. And I think that it's great that that's not everyone's opinion. I think you have to find a size that you're so comfortable in that makes you want to plan, because if you don't, then you're not going to plan. Like, if you dread your planner or your planner causes you stress or anything like that, you're not going to want to plan. So I think you have to find a size that you're comfortable in and that fits and suits you. I recommend, like, if you're new to planning, trying a small size like this. I wouldn't go with the smallest, like pocket, maybe personal or A6. and then kind of go from there. Is it big enough? Is it too big? Is it too small? And then you can kind of make a decision about like what type of planner you want. Someone asked me about my planner ideas for 2022. I feel like I covered that. If I didn't, comment down below and I can go deeper into that. Now this question, I actually had to use Google Translate, but it says, where can I find the leather agenda? I imagine that person was referencing this cover. This cover is from Print Pression. This is not leather. It is faux leather, or the popular term is vegan leather, in the color maple. It's from the Patina collection, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I really like this, this cover. I like the slim profile-ness of it, honestly. It's really nice. And then the last question is, what is your most used section? And then what is your least used section? This was a tough one for me because I feel like I use my sections a lot. I have played and played and played and played with this planner to get it to where I'm utilizing all of the real estate in it. If you want to ask about my most used section, it's definitely my schedule. This is where typically when this is on my desk, it's open either to my weekly or to my daily, period. Now, I will say every evening, for the most part, I'm not going to say like every evening because there are evenings that I do skip. I do update my tracker. I do try to update my content section. I've been referencing my list section a ton lately. Like, that's why I moved it. I think I said that in my last flip, is I migrated my list section to the front because I have been working on this and referencing it a lot. Inbox I use a good bit, but not nearly as much as my schedule. And I would say probably my least used section is probably my health section. Just because I only use it like when needed. It's not just a section that I'm in a lot. Like, if I'm on my cycle or if I work out, or if I need to write something in my health log. And then my mom life section is kind of the same because I only write stuff down if there's like things related to my kids' health in here, because I actually moved their Christmas list up to my list section. So I only write stuff in my mom life section, if I need to, update like their health logs. And then my miscellaneous is my absolute least used, because it only has my passwords in it. I hope I didn't just flash a password at you guys. If I did, I'm deleting that little section there. But yeah, so, but for the most part, like I utilize majority of the real estate in here. Maybe not all like every day, but I'm looking at this a lot. And I honed it and played with it and worked with it to get it set up to be like this. So I think that was all the questions everyone asked. I hope I did not miss anybody. I tried to like be organized and like go through and write things down. And I hope that you guys had fun with this. So here's my 2 cents, if anyone is interested, is I love to plan. Like I said, for me, wild Saturday night, laying in bed, playing with my planners. That makes me happy. Usually my daughter, who I gave her a planner, sits in the bed with me, and we decorate and we laugh and we play with our planners. Like we are so cool. So it's fun for me. Okay. And I watched, Siobhan's video this morning about planners causing anxiety. And I don't want to get to that point. Like, I want to enjoy this process. And when I talk about using multiple planners, it works for me because I go back to, I've always planned. I started planning in college and I've always planned. And as an adult, I've always had a home planner of some sort, a work planner of some sort, and some type of planner in my purse. Now, I've gotten a lot fancier with my planners over the years. I would buy those cheap Walmart or Target planners, and that's what I use a lot of times. But I always kind of have that system in place, and so it works for me. I like having something in my purse that I can jot stuff down in really quickly. I like having this one. This one just makes me happy, my personal rings, and I like to decorate it and set it up and play in it. It makes me happy. So I've always been a multiple planner user. Even before I found the planner community in 2020, I believe is when I found the planner community, I've always been in multiple planners. I have boxes of planners. Most of them are either book bound or spiral bound, and generally very inexpensive planners that, like I said, I found at Walmart or Target. So that's always kind of been how I planned. What I recommend, and this is my thought process, is planning should not be stressful, because planning is a tool. Planning is something that you do to help you either stay productive, stay on task, whatever, right? And it should be enjoyable for you. If at any point it causes you anxiety or it's not enjoyable to you, just take a step back and just think about what's not working for you. And then tweak it. Like, just, and I'm going into the mindset of, just because I have it doesn't mean I have to use it all year long. Like, if I decide midway or February 4th that I don't like Hobonichi, I'm not going to stress about it. If I decide I want to pick it back up, I'll pick it back up. So that's what I was saying. Like, I want to go into 2022 with the mindset of, I'm flexible and I'm adaptable, and this is not stressful to me. I have like mustard under my nail. That's terrible. Sorry. Just noticed that. I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" Sorry. I need to cut my nails. I'm a mom, y'all. But anyway, that's just, again, those were just my thoughts about planning. This is a long video, just so y'all know. So do what works for you. And I know that, like, there's so many like beautifully curated planners, and I take really pretty pictures in my planner. And I do like staging and all that stuff for my Instagram, but rest assured, this joker is used and written in and well loved. I use it, but please don't compare your planner to anyone else's. Like, do what works for you. If putting all the stickers in your planner makes you happy and brings you joy, go for it. If having the most minimal setup where all you do is pen and paper and highlighter, do it. Do it makes you happy. Because I think sometimes when you're seeing all these planners, it can be very like toxic. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty of being easily influenced by the planner community, hence the Hobonichi weeks, right? So again, I need to practice what I preach as well. Yeah. I'm just saying. So yeah, I'm a multiple planner gal. It's always worked for me. And so I use what I need to when I need to use it. And if you don't write in your planner for a couple of days, that's okay too. Okay. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on planning. Geez Louise, this was a long video. My phone says we're almost 34 minutes in. So, anyway, I hope I answered all of your guys' questions. I try to be as detailed as possible. I'm very rambly. But if I missed something or you need clarification on something, please feel free to comment that down below. As always, I really do thank you guys for taking the time to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it. I really do enjoy interacting with you guys. We're like internet planner friends, and I love it. Anyway, so if you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video if you think that this might be helpful to someone, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you have a fabulous day.